Hey everybody, Eric here from EFBM, and if it's some windy kind of sound, the microphone's on the beard. I apologize. But it's Friday. Oh my goodness, thank goodness it's Friday. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for the weekend. I need a weekend to get ready for my weekend. Excuse me. To recover from this past week. It just feels like a long, long week. And you know, a lot of people that I've talked to have kind of felt the same way. They feel like this has been just a long week. And caution, I need to warn you up front. I'm feeling a little ADD. So, like, as I've been talking so far and looking at the camera as I'm at the stoplight, I can already feel like, ooh, squirrel. Because I've looked at the screen a couple of times. I'm like, ooh, natural ombre, or however it's pronounced. So that's what you guys are in store for today. I'm going to try and make this cohesive, but if not, bear with me. Let's just go down this rabbit hole together. So today I want to just take a few minutes, hopefully a few, not more than 8, maybe 9. But I want to take a few minutes and talk about why you may not be seeing results. Excuse me. So if you've done a structured program like P90X or Insanity or any of the other Beachbody programs or even some other people's programs, if you've done a structured program that's typically on a disc or a video of some sorts, they lay out the rest periods, they lay out the workouts, they lay out the movements, things like that. So in the time that you're doing them, everything is structured in together. Typically, people don't tend to see results when they work out on their own in a structured yet self-instructed program. So what do I mean? A lot of people who may lift weights, who have a routine that they'll do, they can sometimes, and I'm one of them, this is speaking from experience, they can sometimes not see results when they think they might. And there are some reasons. One of the biggest reasons is, so you have a big few. Maybe your nutrition's way off. Maybe you've got everything in proportion as far as like fats, fibers, and proteins, but maybe you have your carbs still way off. And those are big ones, Not taking a rest day, taking too many rest days. Those are big things that can sabotage success within your workout. Now, some things that you may not be thinking about. So let's take, for instance, if your goal is to drop body fat. Maybe you want to drop body fat. Maybe you're trying to get shredded, look good for the summer. It's bathing suit weather. I'm trying to get my bikini body ready. I don't know about you, but that is the goal of some people. So as we try and get our bikini bodies ready, and please don't try and picture me in a bikini. That would just be gross and terrible for your mind, and you would need counseling treatments afterwards. No. Although I'm picturing myself in a blue polka dot. So let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I digress. Some things that may be sabotaging you that that you might not realize or think about, or you have no clue about. One, you've cut calories back too quickly. Calorie reduction, as you increase workouts to work within a caloric negative or a caloric deficit, will burn fat, and it's not necessarily detrimental to your body when done correctly. But you need to do it incrementally. You can't just, go from doing 4,000 calories one day to, 1,000 calories the next day. You're going to put your body in what's known as hibernation mode, and that's going to cause you to actually pack on more fat. And pack on more weight because your body thinks you're starving yourself. And so it's hurting you more than helping. So there's that. Another thing is you're taking too long of a rest break between your sets. I typically like to keep mine 10 seconds, but if I'm not paying attention, what feels like 10 seconds turns into 30, turns into 15, turns into 45, and I begin to lose that elevated heart rate. So, taking too long of a rest. Now, if you're not well conditioned, you may need longer rests. So, working up to a shorter rest may be something you have to do. And so there's that. Another thing is you're not working out with enough weight. Now, building muscle is done on several principles. You've got to tear down the muscle and rebuild it for it to grow. And that's absolutely correct. It's very dumbed down, or not dumbed down, simplified. Very simplified. But if you want to shred fat, you've got to put your body into a mode of where it's going to use carbs and use things. And so what you have to do, sorry, I'm fighting some distraction. The camera's all fuzzy and shaky. What you've got to do is make sure you are working. Oh my goodness, the shaky cam is like crazy. But what you've got to do is make sure that you are you're working out with a sufficient amount of weight. You're not going to put yourself into a fat burning mode, quote unquote. If you're working out, a guy like me, I'm not going to go into fat burning mode if I'm consistently working out with 10-pound dumbbells. It depends on what I'm doing, because there are some movements that 10 reps using a 10-pound dumbbell in each hand, ooh, buddy, it's a lot of work. But you need to make sure you're using sufficient weight. You don't want too light, you don't want too heavy. For me, I kind of split hairs. In P90X, Tony Horton likes to talk about 8 to 10 to build size, 12 to 15 to shred. If I'm doing a program on my own, I like to kind of split that. I want to do between 10 and 12, because I do want to grow size while cutting fat. Because the more muscle you the more muscle you create, the more muscle you're building, the more your body's going to have to work to sustain that, which is going to be an increased amount of calorie burn. And the last one for today is your workouts are not intense enough. You're not really hitting the high intensity interval training levels, because one, your rest could be too long. So what you can do is have an active rest. Dr. Jim Stepani, which a lot of this information came from one of his articles recently that I found pretty impactful, so that's why I'm sharing it. So all the credit goes to Dr. Jim Stepani. I've inserted my own personal things to make, to bring some ownership to it. But a lot of this is his research that he's compiled together. But about the high intensity interval training, take an active rest. So if in between high energy sets, instead of actually being sedentary, do an active rest. So run in place, jumping jacks, knee ups, air squats, something like that. Do something that is still a movement that keeps the heart rate up without being in a full-on rest. So that's kind of it. I mean, just making sure you're doing things like that are going to help ensure success. Don't cut calories too fast. Make sure you're not resting too long. Make sure you are using enough weight, and make sure if you're doing high intensity interval training, you really are doing that. So you guys, I hope you've had a great day. I hope you have a great if you didn't work out today, I hope you have a good one planned for later, or that it's a great rest day. I took a kind of a impromptu rest day. We had some people out at work, and so I had to go in there and be there. Excuse me. But you guys, I hope you have a great weekend. I will be posting the sketches of my logo designs that I talked about a few weeks ago. I'll be posting sketches of those to get those into the final drawing or the final scale down for picking what I'm gonna use. I have logo designs for both EFBM and one that I'm doing called Forged Fitness, combining faith and fitness. So be on the lookout for those this weekend. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to do it, but they'll be coming out, and I want to get some votes on it. So you guys have a great one. Remember, we're just ordinary people trying to live extraordinary lives. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.